So when you're on the introverted side of life, it is a little bit more difficult to step outside your comfort zone to build your personal brand. Founder of Malcolm Maverick Creative Consultancy, Jomarie Malcolm, is on the line to help us out. I'm one of those people. Good morning to you, Jomarie. How are you?
Good morning, Simone. I am
It's
great.
good to talk to you this morning. Are you an introvert?
I think I'm more in the middle. So I'm an
Oh,
ambivert. So I have that introvert and extrovert
tell
balance.
me how you started your business.
So I started my business because I've been a graphic designer for the past 12 years. And whereas I would, give the deliverables in terms of the logos and the business cards, I found that clients still miss the mark in terms of how to actually execute or how to use these deliverables to their advantage. And so I thought that if I stepped into the strategy side of life, I would be able to add value to these clients and allow and show them that beyond just a logo and a business card, there's a conversation about messaging and positioning that we need to have to really leverage these brand assets. And so it was that love for strategy, it was that love for the analytical side of things that really brought me into this space.
Excellent. So you're looking at personal branding, right? Which is a phrase I find a lot of people are throwing around these days, but a lot of people are trying to tap into theirs because there's a lot of currency in it that people
Right.
don't understand. It has value. It has value. So
Yeah.
do you find a lot of people now searching for that, what that it is about them that will make them saleable,
Right.
come into their potential?
Right. So what you find is personal branding, and just to kind of explain what that is, it's really just being intentional about your story, intentional about what you bring to the table. And so people really are trying to find that out because somewhere along the line they realize, wait, if I focus on my differentiator, that will help me to land the type of opportunities and jobs that I want. So I do find that people are trying to tap into that because they see the value in it. They see that that is where, the world is moving towards, but there's some things that are blocking them from
Okay.
doing that,
Okay, so
and
competitive
one.
advantage is what we're going for. What are your differentiators? There are 4 points we want to go through this morning, and the first is to let
Yes.
go of the limiting belief or beliefs that you hold.
Right. Yes. So with all things, if you don't believe it's possible, it's not going to happen. And I find that introverts especially live, eat, sleep, breathe their insecurities and their limitations. And so before they can even begin to muster up the confidence and the courage to try, they focus more on that nagging voice that says, I can't do it, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy of the success that I really want. And so letting go of those limiting beliefs is important because in order for you to establish a personal brand that says, I am confident, I can deliver the things that I am positioning myself to provide to my audience, you have to first believe that you can. So these
Absolutely.
unofficial Joe stats, in terms of 80% of the work, in my opinion, is actually believing. That 20% execution is nothing if you don't believe that you actually deserve it. So I want to
Absolutely.
encourage people to start by saying, I am deserving of this success. I am worthy of this success, and that this personal brand that I am building, I have all the tools necessary to do it.
Yeah, that's the hard part. That's probably why it carries so
Right.
much weight, 80%. Because that's the tough part is to change your mindset. Then you find your platform. Talk to me about that, Jo Marie.
Okay, so all digital marketers know that it is ideal and best for you to be on multiple platforms so you can increase your reach, increase your audience, and increase your engagement. I just want to backtrack a bit and say, as an introvert, start with one platform. When you start with one platform, what you're doing is that you are getting your feet wet, you're getting comfortable in the space. And so, in getting comfortable in that space, you'll feel more led to move on to other platforms. So, start with an audience that is smaller, that is more targeted, and that you feel comfortable with. And so, those platforms could be, social media platforms, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook, whether it be LinkedIn. And just to give you some context, I think it's actually better for you to really start with Twitter and LinkedIn because those are not exactly, front facing, but they still drive a lot of impact and they still drive a lot of value.
I
So once
find
you
that
find your
surprising.
platform,
Thought you were going to say
right?
Instagram for sure.
Well, the thing about Instagram, and again, Simone, the key thing is that we're starting off small. So Instagram definitely is your leverager. It is your social impact. This is the thing that drives social currency, especially now. But I want people to start with their comfort level, because
Okay,
the thing
got
about
you.
jumping on Instagram immediately is that you feel overwhelmed by things like, does my feed look good? Am I matching up to everyone? When really, remember, we started out by letting go of those limiting beliefs. So
Gotcha.
in order to test that, let's start with the platforms that you're able to drive those conversations, drive that level of engagement before we get into Instagram, which comes with its own limitations or its own sense of limiting beliefs for people. So
Gotcha.
that's where I would start.
All right, the third one is to find your crowd. You don't need to be everything to everyone. Just find your circle of influence and form some relationships there. And the final one is unlock your superhero. Joe, talk to us about that.
Okay, so when it comes to unlocking your superhero, let me talk to my introverts for a bit. You are some of the most brilliant and talented people in the world, and I need you to embrace that. I need you to know that there are things that you bring to the table that most people don't readily have. You are naturally deep thinkers, you are naturally analytical, and you are naturally connectors. And so, in finding your inner superhero, it's how do you leverage these three things that you naturally have to add value to others. Another thing and another concept I want people to embrace is the notion of your zone of genius. This is a thing that you do better than most people, if not all people. And as much as we don't want to, be conceited about certain things, there's a thin line between conceited and confident. And we all have that one thing that in our heart of hearts, we know we do better than anybody else. And so it's so important to tap into that, because once you find what you do better than anybody else, it checks the boxes of you being passionate about it, you knowing that this is something that people value, this is something people need, then you will be more confident in stepping out. So we're not asking you to do what everybody else is doing. We're asking you to do what feels natural, comfortable, and powerful in your own space, because these are the things that you naturally possess.
All right, we have to go, miss. I love that zone of genius phrase and unlocking it. Where do we find you, Jomarie, to get some more information on this?
Okay, great. So you can find me on Instagram, which is at the Jomarie Malcolm Gordon. You can find me on LinkedIn at Jomarie Malcolm, and you can find me on Twitter at Jomarie Malcolm. And so I'm looking forward to having more conversations with you. And thank you so much for having me, Simone.
Well, good to have you, lady. It was good to talk to you. I see you on the platforms doing your thing and inspiring a lot of people. And it's good to be able to have this discussion. I see your business is targeted to millennials, but everybody can learn from the tips that you gave us this morning. So thank you very much, lady, and have a great day.
Thank you as well. And I wish for you all the best. And just to add that I'm really excited about your own journey and your own experience, and that you are tapping into your zone of genius. So just know you have a cheerleader over here for you. So just congratulations with that.
Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. Appreciate that. Did not see that coming. Founder of Malcolm Maverick Creative Consultancy, Jomarie Malcolm. We're going to take a break on Smile Jamaica. We'll be right back with more after this.